Hello viewers, welcome back to another weekend special video. As Eid and Sinhala and Tamil New Year are around the same time, I thought of sharing some Arabic and traditional Sri Lankan recipes. Arabic vermicelli bites, Sri Lankan style savory kokis or rosettes, and Sri Lankan kalu dodol on the stove top. Subscribe to Nazima's Taste of Home. Press the bell icon for latest updates. Now let's see how to make this instant dessert. Arabic vermicelli bites. This is very easy to make. I have already shared the recipe in my channel some time ago. So try this recipe with very few ingredients. I'm going to use 150 grams of roasted vermicelli, or we call it semiya, and half a cup of sweetened condensed milk, 75 grams butter, and nuts as per your choice, but this is optional. A teaspoon of cardamom powder. Now firstly I'm going to crush the vermicelli really fine, just like this. Now I am going to crush the nuts. I am going to take about 2 tablespoons of each of the nuts, but you can add however you want to. Pulse it for 10 seconds, not like a powder. Heat a non-stick pan and add the butter. When the butter melts up, add the vermicelli and saute for about 2 minutes. This is already roasted, so I am not going to roast it more than 2 minutes. If you are using unroasted, roast it for about 3 or 4 minutes. And now let's add the crushed nuts and give it a good mix. Keep the flame on medium heat, and I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of white sugar and mix it really well. Cook it further for a minute, and then let's add half a cup of condensed milk. You can add a little more, but I want to balance the sweetness, so I'm adding only half a cup. Cook it further for about 1 or 2 minutes, and then let's add the powdered cardamoms and keep cooking until the milk is absorbed. Do not make it really dry by overcooking. It should be a sticky dough just like this. Now transfer it to a bowl, and I'm going to use this bottle cap to mold this semiya bites. You can use any mold of your choice, and make sure to make it while it is still hot, and otherwise it will become really hard. This is a very easy, delicious snack you can make in no time. I'm going to top it with some finely chopped pistachios and dried rose petals, but you can garnish it however you want to. Hope you enjoyed this quick and easy and delicious semiya bites. And here comes the Sri Lankan traditional chili kokis, or we call it rosette cookies. Usually in Sri Lanka we make it sweet cookies, but this time, as per a change, I have added spices to make it a chili cookies. In Sri Lanka, no Aurud table is complete without cookies. This beautiful snack is crunchy, coconutty, and has a hint of spices. Let's see how to make these beautiful cookies. For this recipe, I am going to use 2.5 cups of store-bought roasted rice flour, 1 egg beaten well. Make a well in the center. Add the beaten egg, 1 teaspoon onion powder, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon turmeric powder, about 2 teaspoons of red chili powder, salt as needed. Keep 2.5 cups to 3 cups of thick coconut milk ready, and add gradually to make a pancake like batter. I'm going to add half teaspoon of green chili paste, but this is optional. Coconut milk makes cookies so flavorful, giving them a slight sweetness, so add spices accordingly. You can use either fresh coconut milk or canned unsweetened coconut milk. I have added about 2 to 3 tablespoons of finely chopped curry leaves. This will give a nice flavor. Mix the batter until smooth and it forms a thick pancake batter just like this. I'm going to use this roseate cookie mold which I purchased from Amazon, and this one I got it down from Sri Lanka. Heat the oil and then heat the Kokis mold in the hot oil for about 15 to 20 seconds. I'm going to transfer some of the batter into a small bowl. Now dip the mold into the batter until the batter touches the upper rim of the mold. The older one of my Kokis mold is not successful. I have used that many times, but I am not sure what happened. Now let's use the one I purchased recently on Amazon. Dip the mold into the batter until the batter touches the upper rim of the mold. Then immediately dip the mold with the batter into the hot oil. Fry with the mold for about a minute to get the shape. Then lift and remove the mold and continue frying until golden yellow and crispy, about 45 seconds or little more. Transfer to a oil drainer and repeat with the remaining batter. Let the cookies cool completely before serving. Transfer the cookies to a paper towel lined plate, but my tip is I always remove fried stuff to a oil drainer just to retain the crispiness. So now this delicious and crunchy, crispy, savory, spicy cookies are ready to serve. And finally, let's see how to make this traditional kalu dodol at home. This popular dark sweet consists of mainly coconut milk, jaggery and rice flour. Making kalu dodol is not a difficult thing but consumes lots of time and involves lots of stirring. I have already shared a very easy microwave version you can check in my channel. I am going to use the can version. I have taken 400 ml of 3 cans, so total is 1200 ml, and 200 grams roasted rice flour and 600 grams jaggery powder. You can use the regular jaggery, and quarter cup of white or brown sugar and some finely chopped cashew nuts and some cardamom powder. Measure and keep all the ingredients ready before we start cooking. We need a large pan and a wooden spatula just like this. If you are adding fresh coconut, add 3 coconuts. I am adding the coconut milk into the pan along with the rice flour, jaggery, the sugar and the cardamom powder, half teaspoon of salt. Now let's mix all the ingredients together. Stir until the jaggery has dissolved. Now bring the mixture to the stove top over a medium heat. Start cooking while continually stirring. After about 15 minutes, the mixture has thickened. Keep stirring, pushing the mixture away from the edges of the pan towards the middle. This will take about 55 minutes to 1 hour. So have patience and keep stirring and stirring. This is after 30 minutes and my husband is going to help me to stir. It's important to have another pair of hands to help you. Now after about 40 minutes you will have a thick glossy jelly like mixture and the oil will start to separate, coating the pan. Start folding the edges in towards the middle, and meanwhile let's add the cashew nuts now. Keep stirring and mixing. And now you can see the oil is separating. Now after 55 minutes or so, the oil will have separated enough for you to be able to remove it. This is where it's useful to have another pair of hands so they can remove the oil while you push the dodol out of the way. Continue to keep folding and removing as much as oil as possible for another 10 minutes. If you are making it single-handed, then slowly remove the oil to a bowl just like this. Now it's been like an hour now. Now it's almost getting really thick and hard to stir. If you like chewy dodol, then leave it for another 10 or 15 minutes stirring, and finally turn out to a baking tray and smooth it with a spatula and level it neatly and leave it to cool completely. My dodol didn't turn out to be black just like in Sri Lanka, as we call it kalu dodol, as my jaggery was not too dark like we get in Sri Lanka. If you want really black dodol, make some caramelized sugar syrup and add it to the mixture before you start cooking. Now you can see I have collected about 4 tablespoons of oil from this dodol. Now leave it completely to cool. Since I am fasting, I could not cut it yesterday. Now after it is totally cool, cut into squares, rectangles or diamond shapes or however you want to. This kalu dodol will keep for a couple of weeks in an airtight container at room temperature. Hope you enjoyed this delicious festive recipes. If you like these recipes, please share it with your friends and family. See you soon with another interesting recipe. Thanks for watching. See you later.